In this comment on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master, I'm going to be showing you some replays today, so I'm just using my usual Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, except I changed the extra deck a little. But yeah, I think after this I want to try new things with Blue Eyes just to make it more consistent and things like that. But yeah, just in the extra deck I tried using the Galaxy Eyes cards, and I'm not going to lie to you, there was no time where it would have been like the right time to use them, you know, because with my deck I just attack a lot and destroy a lot of monsters, you know, so there wasn't really times I could take my opponent's monster then pop one card. I just couldn't do it, so I'm not going to bother with those cards anymore. But yeah, I'll just show you the replays for fun. So here they didn't you know, special summon or anything because of Maxx, so I was fine with that. So but unfortunately I'm just getting bricked right now, so in a very bad spot unfortunately. So they attacked and attacked. I mean, makes sense they didn't want to link summon because then they wouldn't really be able to deal as much damage, especially if skill drain up. So I finally got something, so I was like, finally. So I used Dragon Shrine for Blue Eyes and the White Son of Ancients, and then I ended my turn. Then they used Called by the Grave, and I'm like, aha, Crossout Designator. This card will either save you or brick the hell out of you, but yeah, in this case, it really saved me. So I got rid of Called by the Grave, negated that, Called by the Grave, used the White Son of Ancients to special summon Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, because I already have Blue Eyes White Dragon in my graveyard. So yeah, here they link summoned into this, and then they put that in defense, and I was like, alright, that's fine. So yeah, these are all monsters, because you know, if it was spells or traps they would have set them down, but they didn't. So he's Dictator D, and yeah, they had Maxx, and I was like, oh, you know what, Ash Blossom. So yeah, I could finally use my Ash Blossom. So I used Dictator D to put Blue Eyes from my deck to the graveyard. I mean, I was just going to attack that with Dictator D, and then I used Ultimate Fusion to put Blue Eyes from my hand and graveyard to Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. Now, I already have Blue Eyes White Dragon in my graveyard still, so Blue Eyes Jet Dragon's effect is fine. If it gets destroyed somehow and something else gets destroyed. And then, yeah, attack directly. But yeah, it was a nice setup. I mean, you know, not really too much they could do. So I think here, yeah, they left. So it seemed really bad at the start, but the cards that were bricking me actually saved me. So I think this duel is against Sword Soul, but don't really remember it too well. What do I remember? I don't know. Just gonna have to wait and see, unfortunately. So I'm going first. So I used Bingo Machine Go, yeah, because you know, look at this, look at this. What did I... Yeah, I used Ash Blossom because I didn't want to use Called by the Grave on Maxx, because then my Maxx would pretty much be useless in my opponent's turn if I use it. So yeah. So I want to get either of these 3 cards just so I can discard it with Melody. So I got the Ultimate Creature of Destruction, so I was like, alright, that's fine, because now if I summon Alternative, it'll be protected by Ultimate Creature of Destruction. So I summoned Alternative. Got that on the field. I'm not gonna lie, my setup isn't the best, but I have Maxx and Called by the Grave, so that might save me. So here they summoned that Sword Soul card, revealed that. So I went to use Maxx because they were going to summon a token, I believe. And yeah, went through, so I was like, great. So I summoned the token, I was able to draw a card, and guess what? Another Maxx. Oh my god, my luck, man, just my luck. See, they went to use that effect, and then they used another effect, and I'm like, alright, Called by the Grave, because, you know, I don't want that effect going through. I think they're going to draw a card or something. So I stopped them from drawing that card. And then, yeah, but, just, of course I get Maxx with Maxx. Just my luck. Like, I only run 2 Maxxs. I don't run 3 just so that doesn't happen, and it happened. So here they went to special summon that. And a token, so I get to draw another card. Now, before summoning Baron, I use the Ultimate Creature of Destruction just so Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon isn't affected by anything. So here they couldn't really set down spells and traps, so I was like, oh sweet. So So I use my effect to destroy that. Then they use their effect to negate Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon's effect, which I was fine with because that's what I wanted them to do. So then I use Dictative Dick to put Blue Eyes from my deck to the graveyard. Then I use my effect to special summon Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. And they still didn't use their effect. I was like, alright, that's fine. So I used Melody to discard Blue Eyes. That's when they used their effect. And I was like, alright, that's completely fine by me. Like, thank you. So here I attacked that. And then I bounced Baron back. So I attacked that and destroyed that. And then I attacked directly. I could have summoned this for more damage, but I wanted to save it. So here I link summoned into Heretic just so I can bounce back the monster they summon. Then I set down True Light. Now if they special summon, bam, rather Maxx. So here they got Fusion Destiny, and I was like, wow, okay. So I used Maxx, they couldn't negate it, so I get to draw a card now. So I was pretty much waiting until they used their effect, but they didn't. So I was just waiting. I was like waiting the whole time. So they attacked Dictative Dick. And I was like, okay. So I brought out Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. Then, yeah, I was just waiting until they used it. Then they eventually used it. And I was like, alright, now I'm going to use my effect. Bounce you away just so you can never come back into this duel. And yeah. And then I was able to get a dragon from my deck, and then they left. So, yeah. Look, I get it. If someone plays Maxx, you don't want to special summon anymore. I get that. But don't leave a weak monster on the field with no backup when someone does that. Because I know some of these decks rely on like monster effects only. Like this guy, for example. This is a perfect example. So here I used Ash Blossom just to see if they'd called by the grave, and they didn't. So I was like, alright, great, I'm just going to throw Maxx as well to either stop them from special summoning, or they're going to special summon a lot, you know? So yeah, I negated that monster's effect, and then they ended their turn. I'm like, are you serious? Alright, well. So here I got Ultimate Fusion, and I'm like, well, if you can't stop this, it's pretty much GG. So I got Blue Eyes and Alternative with Melody, and then I special summoned Alternative, destroyed this card with Alternative's effect, discarded Blue Eyes with the Melody Awakening Dragon, got 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons, used Ultimate Fusion, and then I went into Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and well, it was pretty much GG. So yeah, a lot of people will just stop what they're doing as soon as Maxx is activated, but sometimes your opponent can get an OTK, so it may be best to do something else at least. I hate Floowandereeze so much, but there's this one card in my deck that basically just stops Floowandereeze from being annoying and stupid and making every turn their turn, you know? Like, as soon as it hits my turn, it's like their turn. I'm not gonna lie, I got bricked, and if they could destroy these spells and traps, I would I would lose. But here's the thing, they couldn't. So they played Dimensional Fissure, and then they used Pot of Duality. But yeah, Floowandereeze with Dimensional Fissure, like, come on, man. So I used Ash Blossom on Pot of Duality just so it doesn't go through. They couldn't negate it. Then they used that Floowandereeze card to get that Floowandereeze from their deck to their hand. Then they played it. Then activated Banished effect. Now, before this effect went through, I used Skill Drain. So yeah, I love Skill Drain against Floowandereeze. They pretty much can't do anything. Unless they have that spell card where they can use my cards as a tribute. But if they don't have that, then yeah, there's not much they can do. So they attacked with 800. I was like, okay, that's perfectly fine. So I used True Light just to get Bingo Machine Go from my deck to the field, just so I can summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now here I got Melody, but I couldn't use it because as soon as I discard, you know, Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, it gets banished thanks to this. So I got Blue Eyes, then I summoned Blue Eyes with True Light, and then I attacked this Floowandereeze with Blue Eyes, and then I was able to summon Blue Eyes Jet Dragon thanks to a card being destroyed in the field, and also having Blue Eyes White Dragon on my field or in my graveyard. So I attacked directly with Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, and then yeah, but yeah, I just couldn't use this because of this. So here they just left because, yeah. To be the last duel. This is where... Oh man, I have not seen this fusion in the longest time. But basically when it comes out, you lose the game. My Boomer Blue Eyes deck defeated this deck. I can't believe it. So here, this is going to take forever, by the way. So get ready. Just grab some popcorn, a drink. I don't know. Go to the bathroom because this is going to take such a long time. The amount of effects my opponent does is crazy, man. Just, oh my god, man. Oh my, it's just all this danger stuff, drawing, getting cards from their deck to their hand. Oh my god. So they just, look at this. Just look at this. They summoned that. They activated that. You know, discarded that, summoned that. Able to draw a card, XC summoned into this. And then they use their effect to skip the next draw phase, but they get to draw 2 cards. And then they get to draw more cards and get more cards and, you know, set down that 1 card. Then they use that effect and discarded that, special summon that. Graveyard effect, get that from their deck to their hand. Well, draw actually. And then they discarded, summoned that. Link summoned into this. And they used all of their monsters to link summon into this just to draw more cards, you know? And I'm just sitting there like, oh my god. Then they were able to draw like 4 cards and then return free, but still. So they're just drawing out like most of their deck. They already have like 20 cards in their deck now. So then they use that to bring that out and just more effects. I had to discard a card after drawing a card, so I discard the White Son of Ancients. Then they summoned this Link, use that effect to, I don't know. Then they Link summoned it to Nightmare Unicorn. And then they used that Graveyard effect and banished all of those just to summon it and then do more things. And then they banished some cards from my deck, which, you know, like a lot of cards. So yeah, say goodbye to all these cards. So yeah, use all their links to draw 2 cards. Like, oh my god, look at that. And then they have 6 cards, now 5 cards. They use this card just to draw more cards. So yeah, fusion summon that 1 card. Then they only got 1 card on their deck. Then they bring this. And they link summon into that. And I'm like, what the hell? So I went to use the White Son of Ancients. Then they negated it with that. So I was just like, okay then. Well, I use Bingo Machine Go. It could go through. Now, before Bingo Machine went through, I used Forbidden Droplet on all 3 of those cards, and then they left. So I was going to summon Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, basically attack all of their monsters, but then they left. So yeah. Alright, so this is the deck. Only a little difference, like I have 3 Dictator Dicks, you know, 1 Dragon Shrine instead of 2. And yeah, the main difference is basically the extra deck, so let me talk about that as soon as I reach the extra deck. So yeah, I tried the Galaxy Eye stuff, I couldn't make it work, and you could say, oh, what about Nebula Dragon, like that makes XC summoning easier. The problem was not like getting level 8 monsters on the field, you know. The problem was there was nothing for me to target and, you know, then destroy after, because with my deck I usually am very aggressive, so I usually destroy all of my opponent's monsters. So I couldn't really make this engine work, unfortunately, and then I couldn't really summon this as well. I'm going to keep this in my deck though, just in case I run into like Baron or that Cyburst Link that is not affected by card effects. So I'm just going to keep this in my deck still, but I'm going to take these 2 cards out because I couldn't make it work. And then there was times where I actually could have summoned Baron or, you know, Moonlight Dragon. That would have helped, but I took those out for these 2 Xyz cards. So yeah, I'm not going to run them. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.